Welcome back to the channel, it's Herman, and in today's video I'm going to go over with you guys some of the best tacos I've ever had, including the best taco that I've ever had while on my trip to Mexico City. And even though Mexican food is more than just tacos, I did make it a mission that when I went to Mexico City, I was going to find the best taco. For my first stop, I went to La Opera, which is located near the historical city center. This one was recommended by my hotel, and it does serve authentic Mexican food. Apart from getting a really delicious mojito, which I hardly ever do, I ordered the beef tongue braised in salsa verde. So if you're a big fan of spicy food, I highly recommend this one. And even though this was not technically a taco, you could make tacos with the tortillas provided. And since this was a sit-down restaurant, I definitely had to get dessert, which in my case, I got zamoranos, which is a very local type of dessert. For my second stop on my list is Taquería Arandas. And here you'll notice that they do have the turnspit cooking the marinated pork. And just like a lot of other restaurants that I saw, the kitchen is actually right up front and the seating area is in the back.
God, these are so good.
If you're unsure of what to order, ask the staff, but what I had was delicious, juicy, and I finished it off with some flan for dessert. Another thing you must try while you're in the city are churros. I went to Churrería El Moro, which was about almost 11 p.m. at night, and it was packed, but I'm sure you can find other places that are just as good throughout the city. But just like other many big cities, street food is very common throughout Mexico City. And especially outside of the metro stations, you're going to find an assortment of carts and street food vendors selling amazing street tacos. And these, despite being the cheapest, were some of my favorite that I had throughout my trip in the city. And if you're a budget traveler, this is an amazing option to save a lot of money.
Remember here, rule of thumb, if it smells good and you're walking by, just check it out. It's about maybe 10 to 15 pesos, which is usually about like maybe $1.50. I mean, that's a hell of a deal for street food.
And now for my vegan and vegetarian friends out there, Mexican food, like here in Molino El Pujol, lends itself incredibly well to vegan and vegetarian diets. Like these two, one is a green leaf and avocado taco, and another one was a corn extract taco, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Both were really good, well made, and really enjoyable with a side of juice. I cannot forget is when you're going to the city, make sure you check out some of the markets because each one has many different food vendors. And in this one, Los Sirenos serves ceviche style tacos. Not only do they have the traditional ceviche with fried tortillas on the side, but here you also have the calamari tacos with a full, very thick calamari with nice corn tortillas. If you're a fan of seafood, gotta try this one. Fun fact about Mexico is that the country has about 60 different types and varieties of corn. And me being a corny guy, I definitely have to try Maizajo for authentic tortillas made from pure corn. And what's unique about this place is that they make their blue corn tortillas in-house. And it really shows that whenever you have a solid tortilla, it really elevates tacos to a whole new level. And they also sell them to go. My other stop during my trip was Taquería Tlaquepaque. And along with tacos, you could always try some other things such as tortas.
Gotta dress up my torta.
And these, all they are sandwiches. But for me, it took me a little bit by surprise because where I'm from, tortas actually means more of a pastry. And these are sandwiches, so I had to get a little bit used to seeing that name. With these, I accompanied them with some delicious al pastor tacos. One travel tip is if you're not using the metro, I recommend using the app called Didi, which is the Chinese version of Uber. They're present, it does the exact same thing, and it's cheaper than Uber. And now here, like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of the markets are very famous and have a lot of food options. Here in Mercado de Coyoacán, this is no exception. And because this one has so many food options, I really cannot recommend just one option. You really just gotta walk around, see which one looks best to you, choose it, and if you're confused about what to order, just simply ask the staff what they recommend. While in Coyoacán, I kept it nice and simple and went with some breakfast tacos to start off the day.
These are way bigger than I expected.
And for the last restaurant on my list, which was my absolute favorite, it had the best tacos I've ever had anywhere. For that, you have to go to Colmillo. This one was certainly on the higher end of the spectrum as far as cost, but if you are a food connoisseur, this is a must try. I managed to arrive around 3:30, so I was able to completely avoid any crowds.
All the sauces from least hot to very spicy. Really, really nice.
The service here right from the start was impeccable and had a huge bar with tons of options to choose from. Here, I also had to go with another mojito. And for my main course, I went with the super tender Wagyu steak tacos served on really, really good quality corn tortillas.
Honestly, best taco I've ever had. Just hands down, so good.
And despite being sad that all good things come to an end, I did at least top it off with some fried Oreo and ice cream dessert at the very end.
Well, that ended the food tour here in Mexico City. Colmillo, that was the best taco I ever had, hands down. I mean, you can tell the quality of it. I mean, it was on the pricier side. That was actually the more expensive restaurant that I visited, so it's probably about $70 dollars that I paid for it, but it was worth it because you do see the quality, not just in the meat but the service. And as always, this is not an exhaustive list of places to visit here in the city. I think if you see a place and you think it looks good, smells good, give it a try. I know there's a lot of places that I had no opportunity of going because I just didn't have enough time. Totally worth it though. I think if you come here to the city just for the food, it's a worthwhile trip because it just everything just smells good. Everything tastes good. I didn't have a bad meal. While here, also people are really friendly. So if you ask for recommendations, they're always going to give you the best that they can think of. Even if you don't speak English, even if you don't speak Spanish, they'll try their best, I think. And like I mentioned, if you want to visit any of these places, in the description I put the Google links for each of the place and the name of every location and chapter it out, so it's easy to find. I'm kind of surprised that more people, or at least more YouTubers, don't do that. That way there's no confusion of the place that you're going to visit. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and in the comments let me know which restaurant in the city that you've been to that you really liked, that you think others should really try, or if there are any restaurants that I visited that you really liked that you also want to concur and say, and let other people know that yes, this was an excellent place. But until next time, bye.